I broke both my arms.
Oh my
Honestly, Ejay, I probably could have died. Like, I probably should have died. It was such a nasty fall that I busted my hip, broke both my arms. I'm sitting crippled in my my bedroom.
Yeah.
And all I see are revenues skyrocket.
Wow.
We start hitting over 250 grand a month. If that's not divine intervention,
Yeah.
right? Like the Lord said, you're not buying a house.
Yeah.
You're going to start your business.
Yeah.
With that business, to this day, I've bought every home. Thankfully, I've bought multiple homes. I bought my mother a home. I've bought commercial real estate for the company. And from there, the floodgates opened. We ended up getting every single city from Upland to Cali Mesa, every city in between. And then to this day, we landed the city of Ontario, which is the largest street sweeping contract in the United States.
Dang. In the whole country?
15-year deal valued at very high dollars.
Wow.
The $67 million or $66 million contract for 15 years. There is no magic sauce or any secret thing. It's old school, roll up your sleeves and go to town.
What is up, everyone? I'm Ejay Cruz, and this is The Parables, your go-to source for wisdom, inspiration, and real conversations to help you become your highest self. If this is your first time joining us, I welcome you, and I'm grateful that you are here. And if you are a returning listener and watcher, subscriber, I welcome you back, and thank you for running it back with us. And guys, I'm so excited because I got a good friend in the building. I know this has been a long time coming. I hope he knows that he was destined to definitely come on the podcast. But this is a great friend of mine. He is a successful serial entrepreneur, most known for his company CMAX Commercial Maintenance and CMAX Sanitary Services. You know, two companies that I have seen actually grow tremendously since before COVID, I believe, right? Oh, yeah. What's amazing is that in just a few short years, Frank has built businesses that not only provide essential services for families, communities, and our cities, but he's also given others an opportunity just to be a part of his amazing company and culture, helping them even start their own gig. But what I gotta say is what I admire most about Frank, aside from our share and love for sports and cars, although I will say his cars are a lot faster than mine, a lot cooler than mine. Despite his success, I just love Frank, how humble he is. He is by far the most down-to-earth friend that I have. And his story is just a proven testament that you don't need to come from money or status to build something great. So Frank Gutierrez, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Man, what an introduction. Jeez.
Man, so send me the Venmo after, man.
Cash App coming right through. Thank you, man. I honestly, genuinely appreciate you inviting me, man. I've seen the list of guys you've had, and honestly, before I came, I wanted to kind of watch some of the classics of EJ's show, and you've had some heavy hitters here. That's why I think I told you a couple times. Might be your lowest rated podcast, so I apologize in advance.
Stop it.
But we hope to make this entertaining, hope to share some nuggets, hope to share some knowledge, and thank you again, brother. Really appreciate you having me on.
Hey, man, I hope you didn't listen to some of the cringe ones, bro. Because
the ones you did in your garage with your iPhone? Those were still great, man.
It's funny. There's some that I listen to, and I think to myself, oh my gosh, man, I'm just, it's one of those things like I don't want to listen to myself. But as you know, we just grow over time, man. Yeah. We just got to fail forward, imperfect action, right?
Amen.
But man, dude, like I said, I really meant it when I said it, like, just a huge fan of yours. Just from the time I've known you, you've grown tremendously, and I just love your humility, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Like you're just a great person, humble, obviously a great family man, something that I admire. I'm a big family person as well, and I'm just so excited to just really talk shop with you, man. I mean, you've grown tremendously since the time I've met you, which I think was back in maybe 2018, 2019, I think, right?
Yeah, it was right before the pandemic. Actually, it's funny. I remember when we met. It was crazy. It was so obviously we're all joined forces here by our good buddy Andrew Cruz,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so I just remember it was during the pandemic where everything just shut down,
mm-hmm.
and while everybody shut down at that moment for us, our business just exploded, right?
Yeah.
Being a sanitation company, a cleaning company, that was like the number one Googled word.
Yeah.
And so I just remember Andrew calling us and he called a group of us. I don't know if you remember. We met at his shop over there in right here in Chino at the photo booth.
Okay.
And then at that point, it's crazy. I think everybody in that little meeting that Andrew has connected me with, it was you, Jamil, Ahmed.
Okay.
And it was
I remember now.
And a group of us, and like now those are guys that I talk to on a daily basis, done business with, look forward to doing future business with, and it's amazing that that meeting was 19 or I think it was 2019, 2020, right before the pandemic or during the pandemic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And to see how really almost like that whole little group has really gone on to do great things and continues to do great things. So
yeah.
So I appreciate Andrew for that. Shout out to our boy Andrew. Yep. But thank you again, man, for having me here. I just again, I've seen the guys you've had here, and I don't know if I'm worthy, but I will do my best.
Hey, man, from a short period of time, like I said, you've grown tremendously. And for those of you who don't know this, and I was going to save it when you told me that, is from experience, there are definitely some heavy hitters that have been on the podcast, but I will tell you my most impactful, most downloaded episodes were people who just didn't have a platform or maybe just weren't so out there, like highlighted or spotlighted. And off recording, right? Like Frank, I'm sure you could agree with this. You're not really the spotlight guy. Like you're just such a humble dude. You get what I'm saying? So just know I'm very confident this will impact lots of people's lives. But bro, let's get right into it. Yep. Even for me, because you've grown so much, I'm still kind of wondering like, where is CMAX going? Like, what are the actual foundation and kind of like the beginning, journey of CMAX? So just real quick, and we'll obviously like dive into like the growth of it, what you're doing now, things like that. But just real quick, if you could just tell those who don't know you, like, your humble beginnings, where you grew up, what got you into like the initial, I think street sweeping was the first thing you did, like all that stuff.
So yeah, without taking the whole 60 minutes here, I'll try to give you some cliff notes. So literally back in 2012, I was working for a furniture company called Dearden's. My whole family worked there. And I was working retail, working Monday through, or actually my days off are like Monday, Tuesday. So I worked every weekend, I worked every holiday, worked bell to bell because it's commission, right? So I had to be at the office. So I only made money if I was present and if I was selling. So with that, there was just this weird moment in my life where there was an opportunity to get into a parking lot sweeper. Okay. And so in 2012, again, it's a whole nother story how the money came. And the most beautiful thing is that on our logo, we have a Bible verse, Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 through 8. And all of this comes together because of the Lord's blessings, right? A lot of people give me, I think, too much credit on, hey, man, how'd you start this company? I'm like, you know what? I'm just another dude, and that just thanks the man above. That's 100% it. And so because of things that the Lord put in my life, going way back to when I first started working at Dearden's, my mom, she said I was making more money than her. So she went to our HR department, which is totally illegal, and made them get 50% of my check and dump it into a 401k. Wow. I was furious at 22 years old because I wanted to go to Red Lobster and Black Angus and think I was the man, taking all my friends out to eat. Yeah. But what she did is she helped me save $25,000 at 22 years old into my 401k. Nice. So I stopped contributing when the economy crashed and all that stuff, but I had that little pocket of money. Fast forward to 2012, there was an opportunity to buy a street sweeper. Okay. And now the thing is, if you know, and you're a financial guy, the only way you can pull your money out of 401k is through a hardship. Death, and if I'm not mistaken, escrow to buy a house. Yes. Right. So my goal in life was to be a realtor. That was my
interesting. I never knew that. Okay.
I was a salesman, right? I wanted to be to me, the top sales guys in the world are involved with real estate, and that's what I always wanted to do. So I was trying to buy my first house. And so I remember I was working and I was making decent income. And so I went to buy a house in Paris for 160 grand. It was all beat up, whatever. But it was my first home, and they required $14,000 down payment. So I go to my HR company, give them the 401k or the escrow paperwork. They give me the money. We put the down payment, we're in escrow. And I swear to you, Ejay, to this day, I have no idea why that escrow fell. Right?
Wow.
No explanation. My realtor all of a sudden said, Frank, you don't qualify. You can't buy the house. Here's your money back. I was like, okay, well, what was that about? And I was heartbroken because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never going to start my real estate career, right?
Yeah.
And so
Now, was that a first home purchase?
It was my first home.
Did you mean it to be like a rental?
So my thoughts was it was going to be my first home, but my idea was to make it a rental.
Yeah, okay,
that's what I really wanted.
Yeah.
But it was going to be my primary. Didn't happen. I got that 14 grand. I went to my bank, to the 401k company. Like, here's the money. They're like, oh, well, you already pulled it out. You're going to get taxed on it. So I was like, okay, whatever. Put the money away.
Yeah.
Not even a month later, I get an opportunity to get into street sweeping, and I go to apply for the truck, and they tell me, okay, well, the truck's 40 grand. Okay, they're all, what's your business plan? I was like, I don't have a business plan. I just want to sweep parking lots. And they're like, well, you don't have a business plan. You don't have no history. You're going to need a high down payment. I was like, well, how high?
Yeah.
14 grand.
Oh my gosh. So it's meant to be.
If that's not divine intervention, right? Like the Lord said, you're not buying a house.
Yeah.
You're going to start your business.
Yeah.
With that business, to this day, I've bought in every home. Thankfully, I've bought multiple homes. I've bought my mother a home. I've gotten, real estate still isn't about commercial real estate for the company. Like all of that happened from a little incident where back in 2005, my mom put money in my 401k. So anyways, in 2012, bought my first sweeper. I had one truck. I was out there working every single night, just didn't know what I was doing. I was
just going to ask, sorry to interrupt. What led to street sweeping? I know, did you have an idea? Did it just sound good?
Not at all.
What's the story behind that?
It literally, the actual reality, and it all ties together, right? I am the biggest Laker fan.
Yeah,
you're a big Laker fan.
Yes, you are.
And I am at every single game and all that. And back then in 2012, as you'll know, this is how old we are. Okay, guys, a little bit of gray here, but you can edit that. So then if I didn't watch the games live, because there was no DVR, if I didn't watch the games live, the Lakers would lose. It was 100% fact. So at that time, I used to go in early so I could leave early when I worked at Dearden's and watch the games. And I would go home, watch it, and they would win. That's when they were winning championships. And so then I remember my boss one day, I came in early and I was going to leave early. And then he goes, oh, Frank, I need you to close the store. I was like, no, dude, there's a big game tonight. I got to go home. And he's like, no, you got to stay and close. And at that moment, I realized I have no control of my time. I have no control of what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm an employee of the company and I had to do right by the company, right?
Yeah.
They paid me well and everything, but I was like, dude, I came early because I want to watch the Laker game. Sure enough, the Lakers lost that night. And so what happened was that's where like a light bulb went off for me, right?
The mindset shift, right?
Just a little different there. And then my very good friend, childhood friend, Mike Vasquez, he owned, him and his dad, he and I used to work together at Dearden's. He went off to do his own thing. And then we had kind of disconnected. He got married and everything. And it's funny, I follow him on Facebook. And he was always at Disneyland. He was at the park every weekend. He was with his family.
Kind of living that lifestyle you wanted
and
to.
I'm looking, I was like, dude, how do you do that? When do you work? And then that's when he tells me, he's like, oh, well, I sweep parking lots at night. And so, the reason that conversation started is because that was when the Lakers were losing. I think Phil Jackson retired, and he and I were just kind of venting to each other because we're both big Laker fans. Like, man, forget the Lakers. We're done with the Lakers. How's business? What are you doing? And he goes, oh, I'm sweeping parking lots. And I was like thinking a pan and broom. And so I go, I'm like, all right, Mike, tell me numbers
about it.
Mind you, this is 2012. I go, what are you making, bro? He goes, last year we did about 250 grand revenues. And in my eyes is like, what do you mean 250 grand? That's a lot of money. In 2012, that was a ton of money. And so I'm like, hold up, how's this work? And so he told me, he's like, well, look, I don't make 250 grand. My company does. And I pay my dad, and then I have my 2 employees, and then I pay myself. I'm like, okay, so what do you make? He goes, I pay myself like 4 or 5 grand a month, And I'm like, what's your schedule? And Ejay, his employees work 6 days a week each. So they were only off 1 day each. One was off Tuesday, one was off Wednesday. So he worked Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Thursday morning, he would sweep an apartment complex. Friday morning, he would sweep Calvary Chapel. That was his schedule. He paid himself 4 to 5 grand a month.
Wow.
And I said, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I'll never miss a Laker game. So at that point, I went out with him. I literally took a 2-week vacation from Dearden's. I went out. I swept for 2-3 nights at night, just sweeping the parking lots with him. He trained me, fell in love. And I'm telling you, in that time, I was trying to buy the house. That fell apart. All of a sudden, he goes, all right, Frank, go to this contractor. They'll give you a route. You just got to go buy a truck, and the rest is on you.
Wow.
And so bought truck number 1 in 2012. That year, my son was born, Christian.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, C-Max is Christian
Okay,
Max.
so I remember you said something like in a different in another interview. You're like, I got to create 2 more businesses for the names on my other side.
The thing is, I have Nathan and Ethan. I don't know if N-Max and E-Max roll as smoothly, but Christian is the name of the company, and
Nice.
and so he was born in 2012. C-Max, the company, was born in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, fast forward now, where we 2025, I'm happy to share we have over 125 trucks, somewhere around there. So
wow.
We're sweeping everything from San Diego all the way up to Seattle. Massive clients, Amazon, In-N-Out, Waste Management, Burtec, all these big clients. And then we service a lot of municipalities. So that's kind of the next phase of where C-Max is going. So our focus was primarily parking lots, industrial parks, and kind of private communities.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've gotten into municipalities, and I could share a little detail on that, on how we started with the municipalities. So
yeah.
That
incredible, man. Tell me this. At what point, 2012, right?
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you start to realize, like, yo, I got something here. This is big. This is like a lot of momentum. Like, yo, this is it. Great
question. I'll tell you what it was. See, I think, and I want to go back to you say my humility, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I think it's because I don't take myself that serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm telling you, not until this year. And mind you, I've owned my company for 13 years. Not until this year have I put on my business cards and on my email address that I'm the president and CEO of the company, right? Because I never thought of myself as a CEO, right? I don't think of myself, even when you say entrepreneur, I'm like, I'm just the guy that takes a risk, But I don't know if I'm an entrepreneur.
Which is an entrepreneur, by the way, right?
And so like, in essence, where that moment, I know what you're asking, I want to say was like, probably once I had 4 or 5 sweepers running.
Okay.
And I think it was like in 2016, 2017. And that was where I realized that we have something real here. It wasn't just me sweeping parking lots so I could watch Laker games, right? It was more like, oh man, I'm actually responsible for 5-6 guys' income, right? Like they are relying on me to have business and work for them to make a living. And now I started feeling the heat when it really was when I started having real payroll. And that was my kind of like intro to like, okay, you're doing something real now because you got real payroll. You know, I used to 1099 employees, or they weren't employees, right? I had to be considered contractor. Hopefully IRS don't watch this. But literally it was one of those things where, I didn't think I needed payroll. I was like, well, I'll just, the guys work and I'll pay them. But now, going through, everything, like, no, everything, we had to have a system in order. We had to have clocking in, clocking out, lunches, all that crap. And with all of that, then it just kind of became a real company. And really, again, goes back to the Lord always having a big part in my whole operations. And because again, I'm constantly asked, what's the magic sauce? I'm like, nothing, man. Just keep praying and hope that the Lord gives you that ordainment, right? So in 2018, I was doing a job. And at that point, 2018, I probably had around 6 trucks. We had our day porting team, a power washing team. So we started expanding different services.
Okay.
And at a certain point, we started also our TI work. So TI is tenant improvements. So basically, we would report to our clients as we swept the parking lots. Hey, somebody broke your window. Hey, somebody busted your your curb, your wheel stop. All these little things. And they naturally go, well, can you fix it? And I'm like, I don't know how to say no. So I'm like, of course. Now all of a sudden I'm a glazer. I'm a guy that's repairing glass. I'm doing roof work.
You're like the go-to. You're the plug.
I just do it all, right?
Yeah.
And so all I remember in 2018, we were doing a big TI job. We had painted flooring. We had done all this stuff for a client. And then the client tells me at the very end, he goes, hey, can you fix this water line? It's leaking. It's a hose bib. And I go, sure. Let me find the shutoff. The shutoff was in the roof, 25 feet in the air. And I had a ladder that was 22 feet. And I told her, I was like, well, if my ladder reaches, I can fix it. If not, I can't do it. She's like, okay, go ahead. I'm like, but if I fall, I'm going to charge you double. And I just joking. Now, mind you, Ejay, before I got C-Max really rolling, everything was in my head, right? This is maybe the entrepreneur side of me, right? Mm-hmm. Everything came in here. I had to text everyone every single morning. Hey, man, this is your job. This is your job. This is your route. This is your route. everyone sat and waited for me to give instructions before they did anything.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just how my business operated because one, I was somewhat of a micromanager, not a micromanager, but more of a control freak.
Yeah.
I don't micromanage, but I'm definitely a control freak. So I was like, everybody had to wait for my orders before they did anything. Now, going back to 2018, that was when my third son was born. So Christian, Nathan, and now Ethan's coming. And my wife was pregnant with Ethan. And I just remember there was moments in our relationship where she was like, when is this going to get better? And I go, what do you mean? We had just bought our first home in 2017. Ethan was coming. But the thing is, I wasn't there. I wasn't home, you know?
Yeah.
And so now it's becoming a thing where my wife's like, I don't get it. You said you were going to start your company so you'd have more time, but it's like you're so sucked into the company, you don't have time for anything.
Yeah, it's
work.
doing the opposite.
Exactly. So, and so again, I'm like thinking, well, what do you mean? Life is good. We got a house, we got our cars, we go out to eat whenever we want. Like we take little trips, little things like that. And I wasn't seeing what she was upset about. And so then in 2018, I was doing that job. I get on this ladder. And as you probably can figure, I fell. I broke both my arms.
Oh my
Honestly, Ejay, I probably could have died. Like I probably should have died. It was such a nasty fall that I busted my hip, broke both my arms. I chipped my teeth.
Jeez.
You can't see it right now, but you can Photoshop them out too. But literally, it was at a point where I got flattened. And I just remember going to the hospital and they were like, you're going to be out for 6 months. I was like, there's no way I can be out 6 months. Like I got this job. What happened at that moment, we were doing about $120,000, $150,000 a month in revenue, right? So that was our business. Again, business was flowing. We had a good team, but everybody's waiting for me.
Yeah.
The moment I got flattened, I floored, I couldn't do nothing. 3 guys stepped up. My current VP now, which is Jesse, my other guy, Billy, took over with the sweeping. And then another guy that I have, Manuel, he was a painter, but he helped me with like construction work. Those 3 guys stepped up. And instead of waiting for me to give all the orders, now I had 3 guys giving the orders.
Nice.
I'm sitting crippled in my my bedroom.
Yeah.
And all I see are revenues skyrocket.
Wow.
We start hitting over 250 grand a month because I'm out of the picture. So if anything, the Lord was like, go home, get out of the way.
Frank, you guys take a step back.
Let your team,
Yes.
I had to learn to delegate. And the team, the team stepped up big time. And they were just respectful for my wishes and being the control freak. But now I had no choice.
Yeah.
And when the business grew that much in 2018, where our revenues, almost 50-60% increase, I was like, when I came back, now it was like, oh crap, now I have those 3 guys plus me. Like that's where the company just started, like next level.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be involved with every single job.
Yeah.
And once I was able to separate from being hands-on on every single job and allowing my team to do the work, that's why I'm able to be here right now with you on this podcast.
Shout out to your team.
My phone doesn't even ring anymore because they are running the show. They really run the show. And that's why it's so important for me to do anything and everything they need from me to help them be successful, right? Give them the tools. And then my job really is now I'm just, I'm dealing with the bigger picture stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I deal with the CPAs, the financials, the banks. I'm dealing with obviously the big clients we have that we're negotiating massive contracts. So, but once I get the deal, close it, execution, pass it to my team, and they run away with it. They are such a blessing to have an incredible team that I have. So Jesse, Caesar, Yannette, Billy, Mark, all you guys. If you do listen to this, I love you guys. So it's because of them.
Shout out to them. You sound like you got an
100%.
incredible team, man. What? How many employees do you have now currently, roughly?
We with the 2 companies combined. So I have CMAX Commercial and I have CMAX Sanitary. So Sanitary is ran by Ramiro. Shout out to my guy Ramiro and Mike. They do an incredible job with that side. It's about 25 employees on that side, but on CMAX Commercial, I think we're in the 80s. So we're about 105, 110 employees. It might even be more, to be honest. I'm sorry that I don't know how many people I employ, but it's definitely up in the hundreds for sure.
Nice, man. Now, both companies have, that company, commercial, right? The commercial business grown like crazy, commercial maintenance. COVID happens, right? Something called COVID happens while most people are running away, like, probably thinking like, yo, we got to double down on work, stack up on cash reserves. We don't know if it's the end of the world. it sounded like you doubled down, and that's kind of where, correct me if I'm wrong, the sanitary part of the side came about. Talk about that.
The crazy thing about CMAX Sanitary. So CMAX Commercial, again, was started with the parking lot sweeping, and basically it's hardscape maintenance, right? Anything to do with the exterior, right? Now, Sanitary, CMAX Sanitary came in 2019. So I was presented an idea of this bin washing thing. And I'll share a little bit of that. Hopefully the guy that shared it with me doesn't listen to this. But he, I had a subcontractor, and every month I paid him monthly to power wash for me. And so we meet once a month. I'd write him his check, and every month I met him, I would tell him, hey, what's new? And he'd always tell me, oh, I got this new thing coming. And I'm like, okay, what is it? He's like, I'm going to wash trash cans. Ejay, I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. I was like, who wants to wash a trash can? Like,
and again, this is before COVID officially
happened. This is in 2018.
Okay.
That's how far back it is, right?
Okay.
So 2018, we had that conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, good luck. And so next month, how's everything, bro? Good. I'm like, what's going on? What's new? Oh, I'm going to get this trash truck. This is going to wash trash cans. And I'm like, so stupid. I was like, here's your check, bro. Good luck. And so I swear to you, for a year straight, he would tell me, well, maybe 6 months. And what happened was we got invited to this Christmas dinner that he and I didn't want to go to. And again, the Lord works in mysterious ways. He dragged both of us there, and he and I just happened to sit together, and we sat there for like 3 hours, right? We're at this Christmas dinner that we didn't want to be at. And we just start chopping it up. And he goes, again, what's going on? Oh, just waiting for my investors. I'm like, investors on a trash truck? I'm like, how much is this thing? $1 million? He's like, it's 150 grand. I'm like, what do you need an investor for? Get a loan. He's like, no, it's because this thing's going to be massive and we need to have blah, blah, blah. And so in my head, I'm like, all right, so what does an investor get, right? Maybe I could be the investor.
Yeah.
And he's so confident. He goes, you're going to own 10%. This is going to be a $60 million business. You're going to get $6 million a year while you're in the Bahamas.
Wow.
And I'm looking at him. Yeah, effing right, dude.
You're still not convinced. Huh?
You have no idea how to build a $60 million company, let alone write me a $6 million check. But his confidence is what got me, right? It wasn't that he was going to do those numbers. But I started thinking, like, hold on, but why? Why do you think this is going to be so big? And when he told me this, that's what changed it for me. He goes, well, California has a Senate bill, 1383, that requires all homeowners to compost their trash, their organics, and it's already being enforced on commercial. So if you go to a shopping center, there's dumpsters, there's these little green cans there that they have to compost. What happens when you compost? Maggots, odors, rodents,
all the nasty stuff.
And guess what? That's a problem. So what are we doing here? We got a solution. And so now I'm like, hold up. Okay, that's different. You didn't tell me this 6 months ago. This is different. This is a real deal. And so now that conversation starts growing. And so then I'm like, dude, let's do this. And so we flew out to Miami. We met the manufacturer, Sparkling Bin. Shout out to my guy there, John Conway. And we met John and we went through this whole thing, right? Now, mind you, I'm in the hotel room with this guy for 3 days, okay? So I'm kind of getting to know a guy. I've never had partnerships. I've always been 100% myself. Partnerships are like marriages, right? You got to know who you're getting involved with. And so I was 3 days with this guy. We're in the room. He's so excited about the business because I'm in. I'm like, I'm going to do it. He's over there. I don't know if I want a yellow Ferrari or a red Ferrari. And I'm like, bro, wow, that's not how this is going to work. So that trip told me a lot. I'm like, this guy's not a serious partner. But the business that I was about to start, which was CMAX Sanitary, I'm like, this is going to be, we're early. And I'll share with you where we're at. But basically, when the time came, he and I had a disagreement. We didn't form a partnership. I told him, look, man, you start your company. I'll start my company. We'll do our own thing. I've been told he thinks I like Bill Gates him basically, or was it Steve Jobs? I forgot which one stole the idea from the other one, but I'm a billionaire. He's not. So that's where, that's a little, I'm just kidding on that. But I ended up buying our truck. And when everybody that gets these trucks, if you've ever seen any out there competitors, they have this little thing like, bin washer or bubbly wash and like these little funny bubbly little names, right? I wanted us to be professional. And I said, we're CMAX Sanitary Services, right? Because not only are we going to wash barrels, we can do power washing services, building washing, like all kinds of cleaning and storm drain cleanings and all these different sanitation work with that same equipment. And the funniest thing, so that was in 2019, started the company, bought my first truck. It was the second truck in California that did the barrel and dumpster washing.
You're early for sure.
Yeah, we're for sure early. And then in 2020, the most Googled word was sanitation.
Because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. And we were CMAX Sanitary Service. Bro, we were getting calls to sanitize people's houses, their cars. They're like, oh, my neighbor was sick and they touched my trunk. Can you please come power wash my car? Just
the germ phobia was going insane.
It was insane, bro. And so CMAX Sanitary exploded. And because of the name, we got called for so many things. We got into the fogging system. Remember the whole fogging we'd get counties. We would do county buildings. All kinds of stuff came out of that because of the name CMAX Sanitary. Nobody was Googling or calling bubbly bins to come sanitize a building. You know, I didn't want to be closed in just washing trash cans, which is our forte. That's our niche. But we can do so many other sanitary services. And to this day, so mind you, in 2019, we were doing, I did like 25,000 in revenue for the year. The next year in 2020, we did like 150,000 revenue. Now that company's, north of several millions of dollars now in revenues, washing trash cans, right? The core service is washing, but we do all kinds of other stuff. So, so sanitary just continues to grow and it's just becoming more and more accepted, right? Because at first it was really weird. And I appreciate, shout out to you, Ejay, for being one of our early clients.
Yes. I just want to say too, not just because Frank's my friend, but I am a client. And I got to tell you, I look forward when I get that text and it says, hey, Ejay, we're coming on Friday. Be sure to leave your bins out, something like that. And I got to tell you, man, like you just need it, especially if you like to eat a lot like me. Like those trash cans get pretty nasty, right? So, bro, I love the service and I always love talking to your guys sometimes. And I love obviously doing videos and just promoting you, bro. I love it.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. And again, it's funny because when I first brought it, I had no intentions of doing residentials. I wanted to focus on my commercial clients because that was easy for me. I already was sweeping the parking lots. I was power washing the centers. I was day porting. And I looked at it. It's a fourth line item. We're going to sanitize your dumpsters. And my managers loved it. Like immediately, I got that truck. I brought that truck here June 2019. And I swear to you, brother, it was a $200,000 truck. Not a single client. Okay. I was going out on a risk, right? I was just buying a truck. I looked at it this way. If it failed miserably, I have a $200,000 power washer. Because that's what it is.
You can use it for other
I can use it for something else.
Yeah.
But it ended up that first day, I took it to do a demo. That truck sells itself, right? It landed a $1,500 a month contract, just one service, a demo. From there, I drove back to my shop. And a little funny tidbit here, I'm driving it back and the truck was a mess because I didn't know how to use it. So I spilled trash juice everywhere. It was a disaster of a demo, by the way. And so when I go, I call John. I'm like, John, where do I clean this thing? And he goes, I'll just go to a car wash. I was like, okay. So I'm on Vineyard, 10 in Vineyard. There's an in and out. I pass the in and out and there's a car wash. I pull in there. We start washing. I dump this water. It reeks, bro. It's horrible. And now I got water up to my ankles. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm flooding this thing because there's so much dirty water.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden, the city of Ontario, all these white work trucks, public works guys roll up on me. And I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm busted. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I was always told, don't mess with the haulers, right? Focus on personal or private. And these guys roll up on me and they're looking. They go, what does this truck do? And I go, well, what do you think it does?
It's like, who's asking?
Right? And the guy literally looks me dead in the eye and goes, does this wash dumpsters? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I've been looking for something like this for 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me that's not the man upstairs making sure we get blessed. You know, mind you, on that truck, that was the first truck that I wrapped, the big green truck and all the wrap. And it had the big old Bible verse on there. And I swear to you, the amount of, look, I get a ton of calls for jobs. People want to work for me. I get a ton of calls for people who want to sign up for service. then I get a lot of calls from our Christian brothers thanking me for like, hey man, it's so beautiful to see a Bible verse on the truck, and I get that call a lot.
Wow.
And so anyways, from there, the first day I have this truck with no clients, I land a $1,400 a month contract, and I get in with the city of Ontario, which to this day we wash. I don't know, it's public info, but we wash a lot of dumpsters and a lot of trash cans for them at the yard. So all on the first day I got the truck, man. So that was definitely a high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
A blessing from the man above.
Bro, I'm just like fascinated right now because there's a couple things that I identified there. First is that there's a saying, if you don't control the narrative, someone else will. And what you did from a personal branding standpoint was you separated yourself, right? From CMAX sanitization instead of just like the simple crappy name, right? You had to separate yourself. And then second thing is that, correct me if I'm wrong, and please add to this, is that, from what I'm hearing, like you really sought more of the freedom and lifestyle. I think lots of people, me and Andrew have had this conversation. Most people seek like the clout and sexiness of a business where you identified problems and you found solutions and you turned that into a business model. Yeah. Right. And I love that just because I think sometimes we chase the wrong path, if that makes sense. Yeah. Right. I mean,
and I agree with that. And I think for me, definitely, I didn't know it at the time. I can tell you now what I was doing, but then I didn't realize when my boss said I couldn't go home to watch the game, it was like something just like got recorded in my brain where I lost control, right? Yeah. Then when my buddy Mike shows me his lifestyle, right, it was simple. It's not like he was out partying, yacht club, none of that. No. It was just he was able to work at night while everybody was sleeping. And then when everybody was awake, he was home, and that's
spending time with his family.
And spending time with his family. That's really what it was for me. And now I come to think of it without me really realizing it, I just wanted freedom and control of my schedule. Now, mind you, everybody says that when you're a business owner, you can do whatever you want. No, you can't.
No, absolutely not. Biggest myth.
When you worked at a company, you might have had a supervisor and your general manager, right? Those are your two bosses. I have 3,000 bosses now. You know who they are? My customers. Yep. They dictate what I do, right? Now, mind you, can I maybe, leverage my employees into doing something I don't want to do or something I can't do? Yes, that's maybe the perk of being the owner. But the reality is, and it's happened to me, man, and I'm sure you've done the same. I remember on Christmas Eve back in, 2016, customer calls me. It was like 7 p.m. I was getting, so it's funny. Everybody says I'm Mexican. Well, let me rewind this. My white friends say I'm Mexican. My Mexican friends say I'm white. My black friends have no clue what I am. so I am just, I'm from Nicaragua. My wife's from Mexico, but we celebrate the 24th, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're getting ready to go to the family dinner for Christmas, and a customer calls me in Riverside. And mind you, that time I was living in Hacienda Heights. And she's like, hey, a homeless guy just broke open our electrical door. Can you come secure it? I'm like, it's like 6 p.m. In my head, I'm like, yes, ma'am, I'll go do it. But I'm kicking and screaming the whole drive back to Riverside to go repair a door on Christmas Eve. But
was that something you did though? Like as part
little handyman stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that was when we started doing the TI stuff.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So
because you've done stuff for my house too.
Yeah. So and the thing is, it was one of those things where like, my wife at that time would have been like, well, you're the boss. Can you tell her no? I'm like, yeah, right. She's my boss. Yeah. She's the client. I got to do what she says. So she wanted a door fixed Christmas Eve. The whole drive there, I'm thinking, this is the most expensive doorknob she's ever going to pay for. And mind you, at that time, what were you thinking? I would have probably charged like $150. And there I go, I'm going to charge you $300 for this. Right. But it was just, again, man, the reality is we will always serve somebody, and whether it's our employees, it's our clients, you never get away from it. There's no way, unless you're, I don't know, maybe some like stock trader or something. Maybe that's the only thing you can do on your own and not have to report to somebody. But in any business, we're still reporting to somebody somewhere. Yeah. So
I think this is an important like lesson for anyone that's listening to this is that when you look at an opportunity, you got to look at it from a different lens. Because for what I'm hearing from Frank, and again, please add to this, is that, again, you didn't look at something that was sexy, that had clout. You saw a problem, there was a solution, but also at the same time, you have to remember, like, Frank, like, you are providing an essential service. These are people who operate their business. This is their homes. These are things that affect, like, you know, people overall, right? That ties back to their health. Like, you know what I mean? Just to give you perspective. And then the other thing too is, like, on the business side, like you said, you realize that this was important because now these are people that depend on you. Their family depends on you. You're giving them an opportunity to work, you know, to get some work, to have a good income, right? And I think that's just so powerful. I think people tend to miss that. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
so kudos to you, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. And I think, honestly, one of the most rewarding things for me was when I was able to pay some of my employees over $100,000, you know? And I think of that because that's a big threshold to hit, right?
Yeah.
You most people that make $100,000, you know, nowadays numbers are just crazy inflated, but there was times where if you make $100,000, you were like top dog, like you were just six figure income. You're it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going back to where what happened was in 2018, there was an opportunity where we got called for the Woolsey fire. I don't know if you remember that in Malibu, Calabasas, all that big wildfire that happened over there. When all that happened, an environmental company called me to sweep all the debris, right? So they were hauling it all out, but we had to clean those streets. And it was a 5-month project. That was the first time I was introduced to prevailing wages. So now my sweepers, that time, who knows what they were making, but they anywhere between $22 to $30 an hour, right? It's going to be more or less the industry standard. That particular job, because it was a LA County, a Caltrans, and all these crazy entities, it was ran by the union. They tell me you have to pay your drivers $87 an hour.
Wow.
I'm paying guys $25,000 a month to sweep. In 5 months, they made over $100,000. And one of my guys bought his first home. My other guy bought his car, paid off all his debts. The other one might have gone crazy with drugs and alcohol and who knows what else. But the idea is to the look of their faces and I was so happy to pay them those wages. Was so rewarding for me because it's, you know, the thing is that, the boss is always the one making all the money. We risked it all, so we make more. But it is so beautiful when I can pay guys better than standard wages and see how they're appreciative of it too. And I'm telling you, that was like the first taste of the prevailing wages. And now we have some municipal contracts that are paying guys an average of like $50 an hour. You know, and again, those guys are so thankful to me, and some of them even joke with me like, I took my whole family out to eat. You know, they couldn't pay the bill because they don't make prevailing wages like me. You know, they're showing off, and I'm like, whatever, dude, you should be paying for your family. But it's such a blessing to be able to give it back to the team that really, without them, we are nothing. Without our team, we are absolutely nothing. Like, I couldn't drive all these trucks. I couldn't repair these trucks. I couldn't do anything. So,
is that the most fulfilling thing you'd say? Like,
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Being like, when my team, I'll see guys send me messages like thanking me, like, hey man, we just got the keys to our first home. Thank you. Thank you for the job. Thank you for whatever. And that's like their loyalty to me, and I'm loyal to them, you know, because again, it's we got to help each other. Yeah. We always tease about the Little Caesar pizza parties, right? And hey, guys, we made millions of dollars. We're having a Little Caesar pizza party. and I'm like, no, I don't do that. Like literally when we have like celebrations or when we do our big team meetings, I get a taco man. I've had
I've seen some of the stuff. It looks good.
We get hibachi chefs. We go all out, man. Because I want to share the wealth with everyone, right? As much as I can. And so try to give the guys the nicest equipment. I try to get the guys nicest gear. You know, we print a lot. And by the way, I still have all your stuff, bro. I have your sweater that you asked for like 2 years ago. I promise shipping is delayed, but it's coming.
You're my neighbor. You know that, right? Like you can literally like drop it off. Just like
I have a hat for you. I have a t-shirt. I should have brought it today, man. But
it's all good.
I have all that stuff.
Dude, I love it, man. And I think it's a true testament to, again, like if at the end of the day, if you could keep the priority of being in service of other people, I think you'll find success no matter what, right? Because that's what it is here in regards to from a customer standpoint, but also like, you know, bringing on employees and scaling your business and things like that. I just love it, man. Yeah. And I wasn't lying when I said too in regards to just like this winning, like really, really attractive culture, this thing that you've built. Like, it's just amazing, bro. Like, I'm proud of you, man. Really, I really am. I'm proud of you. Aside from the pandemic and all this other stuff, what would you say also was the key factors to like the growth of both sides of the business? Social media, referrals, or just the fact that like, I've never seen this before. Like, can this person help me out? Like, what would you say is the key factors to the growth?
Well, so earlier I kind of tapped into how we were sweeping, parking lots and industrial, and now our significant growth now is municipalities.
Yeah.
Back in 2022, I was pretty comfortable, right? You remember our good friend Sam Bakatar?
Yeah.
Right. I remember, rest in peace, that guy. He brought me to his house once. I power washed his house and did all this stuff. He loved our business. He was the one that actually shared sanitary on his Facebook or his Instagram. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And got us a bunch of clients. But I remember being in the room with him, and he's like, Frank, I'm going to help you with your marketing, man. Let's see how we can help you here. And I was like, okay, cool. And he goes, so how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? And he's asking me all these questions. He's moving at 100 miles an hour. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, how come you're not doing this? How come you're not doing that? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, you know why? I'm like, why? Your belly's fat. And I'm like, well, I'm working on it, man. I'm trying to.
Oh, Sam, back to you. I love you, brother.
I'm over here thinking, okay, I promise I'll sign up for the camp then and work on this. But what he was telling me, of course, I was comfortable. And I really was comfortable. Dude, business was flowing.
Yes.
At that time, in 2022, I had 36 trucks. 36 trucks 3 years ago in 2022. Today, I have 120 something trucks, right?
Yeah.
Because I got out of that comfort zone. I already was dominating the parking lots. I was dominating the industrial. I was dominating all these other sectors that I had. I never got into municipalities. Municipalities was kind of hands off. That was managed by the big dogs, the big sweeping companies, the whatever. And so what happened was there was a big change in the sweeping industry where this corporate company bought out everybody, retired all the old guys. So they monopolized it. And by them monopolizing it, now there was no competitor.
Yeah.
And so what happened was we ended up, we have a contract with Old Town Pasadena.
Yeah.
Right? We've been sweeping Old Town Pasadena for 7 years. And we sweep it 365 days a year. But there's one day a year that there's the Rose Parade. Guess who sweeps it? We do.
Yeah.
So I told my guys, Mark and Josh, I'm like, hey, I need you guys to record the whole thing. So they're like, all right, for sure. So they record all this footage and just working with the crowd, working with the floats going, all this stuff. And so I made a little TikTok out of it. Mind you, my wife hates social media. And I always tell everyone she thinks I'm a 9-year-old girl posting on TikTok. I love sharing that. But I made that video, I shared it, and bro, it went locally viral. And because of that video of us sweeping the Rose Parade, which is a prestigious event, all of a sudden other cities were like, wait a minute, CMAX does cities? Come do our city. And that's where we got a call from a hauler, which is a great partner of ours, Burtech. Shout out to Burtech. Love those guys. Burtech gave us our first opportunity to do an actual municipality. Now, my test was, have you ever heard of a city called Muscoy?
Muscoy?
I had to Google it. It's the deadliest unincorporated city in San Bernardino.
Oh, wow.
It's this little corner up in San Bernardino. And that was my first trial. They're like, all right, sweep this city and let's see what you got. And so we went to town with our OCD and ADHD, and we were making sure every single nook and cranny was swept. That city has never had a street sweeping service in the 100 years of existence.
Wow.
It was such a big deal. County Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. came out to celebrate that event.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Baca. He jumped in the truck, did a whole thing with us.
That's so cool.
I think there was the news was there. I don't know. They recorded it and everything.
Yeah.
And so we got our first crack with the city of Muscoy. We crushed it for that first month or two that we were there. And from there, the floodgates opened. We ended up getting every single city from, from Upland to Cali Mesa, every city in between. And then to this day, we landed the city of Ontario, which is the largest street sweeping contract in the United States.
Dang. In the whole country?
15-year deal valued at very high dollars.
Wow.
And so they it's public info, so anybody can see it. It's a $66 million contract for 15 years. And
Wow.
And so we were awarded that, and then from there we've just keep adding to it. So all these little nuggets. So we got a handful of cities that we're talking to, working on trying to expand, because now we've gotten everything in the Inland Empire.
Yeah.
Our next step is, do we want to go San Diego County? Do we want to go to LA County, Orange County? You know, so a strategic thing that we're trying to figure out where we want to go.
Are you doing stuff out of state now too? Like,
so we did have a minor expansion in Texas.
Okay.
We're doing Belton, Texas. That didn't end up going the way we wanted it, but it's funny. So with Amazon and In-N-Out and some of the big corporate company, Waste Management, because we're master service providers for them, meaning we could do work for them in all 50 states.
yeah.
So we do have stuff like in Seattle, Washington. We have some stuff on the East Coast with Amazon, and we have some stuff in Texas. So most of that work, I'll literally fly my guys out, rent a sweeper, and do the work, and then they fly back. You know, and Amazon will pay us for everything.
Nice.
And so but the idea is I want to find some partnerships out there that I can,
So you could expand.
so we could expand a little bit.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Man, that's awesome, man. So there's a couple of things I just want to touch on. One is you got to document, right? You got to document so people can see actually what good service you're doing, right? Because you documented, and I'm sure you would agree, you probably didn't know what the heck you were doing.
Nope.
Like in regards to
I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, like what's the good angle? What's this? Who do I put? Like, right? That's one thing. And then second thing is, it sounds like our good friend Sam Bakhtiar just really, I could relate to. There was a time when I was a nurse, you know my story a little bit. I was a healthcare professional, and I found myself in a just big comfort zone, like just in my ear, right? Like, Ejay, you're good. You're making six figures. You have health benefits for the rest of your life. People are always going to be sick. Fell into that comfort zone, and I knew that was like kind of like the death of me. You know what I mean? And I had to like figure out on my own that comfort level is holding me back. And it sounds like, and I just made a post about this, like, you should be in acquaintance or in relationships with people that are going to challenge you and take you out of your comfort
100%.
zone. And again, God bless Sam Bakhtiar, because he's one of those guys that will like not kindly do it. He'll just like straight up call you out. And sometimes you need that.
Yeah, 100%.
You need that, right?
100%, man. And it makes me sad that he's not here with us today, because I think he'd be proud of a lot of the things that all of us are doing, like that whole group, and that guy, again, man, I only knew him for a short stint, man, maybe 8 months before he passed. But that 8 months was so impactful for me, where again, it just got me like, wake up. Like, I think I own the world because I've dominated a handful of parking lots in Inland Empire, but there's so much more to this, you know? And until I went back into it and got my nails dirty again, that's where again, I felt like I got definitely complacent, and so again, now with this whole municipality, like, I'm in shambles. Like, I'm kind of like, oh man, what's next? What's gonna happen here? These are big contracts. These are massive truck payments. These are massive payroll. All these things that are happening, and again, I always say to everyone, I weirdly feel comfortable when I'm uncomfortable. Right? Yeah. This feels normal to me. There was that moment when things were all just flowing smoothly, like I almost got bored. You know? And so now, just the challenge again, the excitement again of what's coming next, I look forward to it, and I love that challenge. And I'm telling you, like, right now, man, I'm basically embarrassed. I was gone for about 2.5 months, like literally. Like, I'm not proud of that. And I was like, but it was just a series of vacations that we had planned, and so with all of that, now that I'm back, I am just like, this week, man, I feel like it's been the most productive week I've had in, honestly, in over 2.5 months, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, I've been at the shop every single day, every single morning, just checking on my mechanics, checking on the drivers. What do you guys need? What's going on? We had a list of like 9 trucks that was down on Monday. I think as of today, we're down to like 2 or 3. Like, nice. It's like just a little shift in, all right, let's get these done. Yeah. This week, while I came back, we just landed the city of Chino Hills and Monterey Park.
Nice.
Start September 2nd and September 15th. So we're celebrating this week 2 massive street sweeping contracts. Nobody, you're literally breaking news on the parables. That'll
Let's go.
show in 5 months, but whatever. It literally is.
Congrats, man.
Thank you, man. And with those 2 massive contracts that we just landed, Chino Hills is giving us a 5-year deal. Monterey Park is a month-to-month deal, but that'll be an opportunity for us to show how good we can do it, and hopefully we secure a deal there. But that is our first contract in LA County.
Nice.
So now that's like, all right, can we make some business happen in this area? So yeah, that's what I've been able to get done this week. Now that I've kind of focused back into my business, and so we're in chats with other cities, but hopefully, that energy of my presence trying to stimulate that work again. So yeah, that's what we got to keep up.
I would say, right? Would you agree that the number one sign of comfort is when you get bored?
Yeah.
Just no question, right?
For sure.
Yeah. It's just
when you're when there's no challenge or when there's no like obstacle to face.
You're not getting stimulated.
Yeah. It's seriously. That's why, like, look, I don't take vacations to escape work. Right? I hate it when people say, "Oh yeah, you need time off." I'm like, no, I don't. I like to vacation to explore, right? I enjoy just visiting different cities or different parts of the world and just learning history. Again, I worked 12 years, right? 7 days a week, 24 hours, right? And having gotten the opportunity to travel. And now that my kids are older, we can travel. And now I'm just enjoying really out there, but I'm always working, right? Yeah. Always on my phone. I'm always on my laptop. I don't do it to escape work because I enjoy this. I don't want to escape my life. This is my reality and I love it. But for me, you're right. If there is no challenge, it gets boring. And I've been on vacation where there's nothing challenging and I'm like, this is boring. I'm going to go to sleep. Like it literally will be, sorry, you can edit that spit out, but it'll be like 3 p.m. and I am bored and I will literally decide I'm going to go to the room and just fall asleep because this is not stimulating. It's not challenging. I don't know what it is, but that's definitely a reality for us, I think.
Yeah. Talk to me about the future, because again, I don't know this industry. I'm fascinated by it just because of being a fan of yours and what you've accomplished. But what does the future look like for the industry, let alone CMAX? Like in regards to maybe where the industry is going, whether it's tech, whether it's like the expansion side of it, whether it's like maybe bills that are being passed. Like what does it look like for the industry and then for CMAX?
So for our industry, the sweeping side of it, right? The sweeping side of it more than ever, with the AQMD, the South Coast Quality, the air quality guys, like our services, like you said earlier, is essential, right? Like there are tests like done in Canada that literally by having an increased sweeping service and keeping those pollutants out of the storm drains and out of, all of that stuff, it literally has increased like the quality of life and health of people. Like it's a crazy study that I was just told about like the other day, how our work really makes a difference. So a lot of our work right now, except for Ontario, all the cities are swept maybe twice a month. Ontario is so progressive, so proactive, and they have us going on a weekly basis, the entire city. And that's just Ontario for you, right? That's why I love that city. Like they literally are like, no, we want to be clean. Like it was crazy. That's why the contract was so big, because they wanted every single street swept on a weekly, daily basis.
Oh, Ontario's coming up.
Yeah, sure. Ontario's insane. So all the other cities are taking notice of that. And now all of a sudden we're getting requests to increase service. So where we're going in the future, I don't know if we're going to, how do I say this, go this way, right? I think we're going to go deeper in the sense that we're going to increase services in our existing clients, right? Yeah. And not only with like the municipalities, but even with like our shopping centers, right? We do a reporting to all our clients, our own quality control, periodic reporting. And basically we might have a parking lot that we sweep once a week, but we'll visit that property twice a week on purpose. One, we visit it when the service was just done, and then we'll visit it 3-4 days later just to see the conditions of the property and just to say, hey, you got a lot of buildup. You got this, you got that, you got that. What ends up happening? Clients go, you know what? Let's increase our sweeping. Instead of once a week, let's do it 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It generates business for us, right?
So good.
So instead of me going out there trying to catch new clients, let me work on my existing clients and see how, I don't want to go this way. I want to go this way. Sorry. And so the idea is go and deeper with our existing clients, because from your line of business, it's hard to go and capture a new client and build that relationship and build that trust. You already have an existing client that you've done a lot of work with. They trust you. They know what you're
established already with them.
They know what you're about. Hey man, you know what? Maybe this line of service you have is not enough for you at this moment. You might have a $1 million policy. Now you need a $2 million policy. Or, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things. Or now they have kids when they didn't when you signed them up. So, hey, we need to do something there.
Yeah.
All these different things where you can, for CMAX, I look at it as let's dig in deeper with our clients and give them better quality service. And again, we already have a good relationship. Let's see what we can do there.
Yeah.
For the industry, again, I think that people are just now taking more notice of our service. Strategically, that happened because I put a big target on our back by wrapping all my trucks bright blue and black. And because, shout out to Andrew Cruz. He tells me, he's all, bro, you made, I think it was Andrew Cruz. I don't know. Somebody told me this. It sounds like Andrew thing. They go, dude, you made sweeping sexy. And I'm like,
it's true.
Well, what do you mean? He's like, dude, the trucks look beautiful. And now all of a sudden guys are talking like, yeah, I'm going to start a sweeping company, and it's because it used to be your prototypical plain white truck that was all dusty and run down and looks horrible. Nasty. Now I literally have 4 guys at my yard washing trucks all day. That's all they do. Yeah. Wash the trucks, because presentation is everything.
Yes.
We had a customer. It was the city of Upland. A truck went down for service, just maintenance, right? Truck comes to the yard. The blue truck was down for 2 days. We have a backup truck that goes out to do the shop. Mind you, it's the same truck. It's a Timco 600, and it's the same driver. You know what the difference? It was a white one, not a blue one. 10 complaints came to the city saying this white truck is making a mess. We need that blue sweeper back. We need the CMAX sweeper. This new company you just sent sucks, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And I'm like, and so the mayor calls me. He goes, Frank, what's going on with the trucks? I'm like, oh, nothing, man. It's just getting tuned up. He's like, well, I'm getting all these complaints. I'm like, well, dude, it's the same driver. It's the same truck. He's like, well, what's the difference? I'm like, well, it's white. It's not blue. He's like, get me a blue truck. And I'm like, yes, sir. I'm like, guys, switch the truck.
Fussy.
It's the perception, right? It's the perception. It's all of a sudden we have put that target on our back. When the blue sweepers are in town, your streets are getting done right.
Yeah.
The white ones out there, automatically, nope, doesn't know how to sweep. It's making a mess.
Yeah. Controlling the perception, controlling the narrative. I will say this one last thing is that when I've had the truck come to my house, I've actually had neighbors actually almost seem like they're gathering around, as if they're seeing something in the sky, when a plane or something like that, like a UFO. Yep. And they're actually looking wow, what service is this? Waste management? Or what are they doing?
The green truck.
Right? So the branding, like I said, I think is just, it's brilliant. Exactly the way you pivoted and you saw that opportunity, yo, let me separate CMAX from everyone else and know we're taking care of you. Yeah. We're taking care of you, your family, your community. So I love it, man. As we wrap up here real quick, Frank, I just one more question is, if someone wanted to start a business today in any industry, or maybe just take a leap of faith, what's the one thing you'd say to them to focus on the most?
Man, that's a good one. I think so many things that could be said, really, but I feel like the reality for me is there is no magic sauce or any secret thing. It's old school, roll up your sleeves and go to town, right? There is no, if you're going to start something, go all in, do your research on it, understand the business. But I feel like you need help from your circle, right? Yeah. And for me to really get going when I was going, you have to take a calculated risk, right? I'm definitely not the smartest guy in the world, but when I started sweeping, I looked at my situation, right? I was living at my mother-in-law's house, paying $500 a month, right? I didn't have a $4,000 mortgage, right? I had a $500 rent that my mother-in-law was so gracious to allow, right? I started the sweeping with a little bit of money I had saved, right? And basically, you just gotta, I guess, excuse my French, but you gotta eat before you can enjoy some steaks. And what I mean by that is, you're not going to live this beautiful, rich and beautiful business entrepreneur lifestyle that you see on Instagram. You really have to grind and be ready to eat. And while you're eating, adds a little salt and hot sauce in there because things just get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
And so the idea is just, you got to get through that period, whether it's a year, 2 years, you got to figure out how to, you hear so many stories of, hey man, I used to let this guy sleep on my couch. Now he's a multimillionaire, right? Because he was eating while he was trying to build something for the future.
They paid their dues.
They got to pay their dues, man. And there's no skipping that. There is no skipping that. Unless you win the lotto or you steal some money, you're no other way around it, man.
Yeah.
And the only way I could say, look, I had to work a day job to pay for my business at night, right? You got to be willing to take that L, right? Like, how did it make sense that my expenses monthly for sweeping was $2,500 a month and my route was $1,800, right? How did that make sense? It doesn't. But eventually those numbers changed, right?
Yeah.
My route grew to $10,000 a month and my expenses were $2,400. Now I was making $6,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? But you have to really focus, commit, and downgrade your lifestyle while you're building the business. Because if you think that, hey, I'm starting a business and now I'm driving a Lamborghini, no, it doesn't work like that.
It's called lifestyle inflation. It's one of the worst things you could do.
100%.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, I remember my CPA at one point was like, Frank, you're making a lot of money. You need to like get some expenses. I didn't want to touch the money. I was like, why?
Is this Nalin?
No,
not
before.
yet.
It was before Nalin.
Okay.
but yeah, and those are things in business that you don't think about, right? Never in our lives, right? You're a salesman in your insurance policies, right? And I'm a salesman in my sweeping business. But we're CPAs now. We're HR. We're accounting.
We got all these damn hats,
You have to understand all these facets of the business. And as much as, as the company grows, I push that off as much as I could. Now I have no choice. That is part of my responsibility. I'm looking at the financials. I'm understanding them. What can we do? What can we not do? And understanding all that stuff is going to be crucial to the long-term success. But as you build, you just got to wear them all and do your best you can. And again, man, long answer to your short question is, don't skip the hard part, man. You can't. A real business won't flourish or do well without it. And so I've been very fortunate to help a lot of guys in my industry, good friends of mine. And a lot of these guys making over $100,000, $200,000 a month now. And it's because they listened. And I'm telling you, I had one guy in a truck. He bought one of my old sweepers. He had a vertigo. So he's doing donuts in the parking lot, sweeping, throwing up.
Oh my God.
While he's sweeping, because I'm like, and he would call, bro, I can't do this. Yeah, you can. Then you're not going to build a business. And so he got to it. He got through it. He's one of he's like the biggest vendor for Stater Brothers now.
Nice.
Multi-million-dollars in work for them. Another buddy of mine, same thing, man. He wanted to be a day porter, a power washer, and a sweeper. I made him do all three things. And he was like, I want to hire someone. No, you can't afford it. He's like, yeah, I can. No, you can't. So he would work 8 hours a day, day porting. He would sweep the parking lot, and then he would power wash the parking lot that same night. He did all three himself, and he kept doing it. And now he's doing really well. So it's just one of those things, I try to push the guys to the limits, right? Because I got to the limit. I remember throwing my keys in the middle of the parking lot saying, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Then I walked over there, picked it. I was like, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
But you gotta go through the challenges to make it really happen.
I love it, man. Well, Frank, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. Just real quick, two things. One is, how can people who are interested in getting involved with you, whether it's, I don't know, getting in part with CMAX, buying their own truck, whatever it is, what does that look like? And then where can people find you to reach out to you? Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. So we have two websites. We have cmaxco.com. We have cmaxwash.com. So you can definitely apply online if you're interested in working for us. That's for our CMAX for the sweeping, and then for the sanitation side. We're always looking for guys. We're always looking for people. As far as working with us, as a partner, we do hire subcontractors for certain trades. Again, we have so many different trades that we work with: power washing, sweeping, porter. And then with the sanitation, we also have a licensing program where if you're interested in getting a CMAX sanitary truck going in your city or in your town, it could be out of state. Again, feel free to contact me and I can give you a rundown of what something like that would look like. And again, don't look at the success now, because I will make you eat
crap for a long time until you build it up right. But again, thank you, Ejay, for the opportunity to talk here. I really appreciate it.
And where can they reach out to you? What's the best way to contact you?
Definitely on the website. The website will have
okay.
will have it has my email, has my phone number, has everything there. Cool. So you can follow us on social media. CMAX, just type CMAX, you'll see CMAX Corp. CMAX Commercial, and you'll see CMAX Sanitary. It's a bunch of trash cans and sweepers, so it's not the sexiest thing. I tell everyone you're not gonna.
Hey, this content's about to make that thing a lot more sexy. That's for sure when we post this. Right. So, Frank, I appreciate you, brother. We'll put everything on the description on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to. But Frank, I appreciate you, brother. This was a lot of fun, man.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate it, brother.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Parables Podcast. We're out of here.
See ya.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into the podcast. If you enjoyed the episode and found value, don't forget to hit that follow so you are always updated and in the loop with the latest episode drops. In addition, if you could rate the podcast, that would help us tremendously with visibility. Lastly, if you know someone that would enjoy or benefit from this episode or the show, please pay it forward and share it with them. It means a lot to us. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.